Hey everyone, it's Bethany and I'm working on a little back to school chalkboard sign that is going to be super cute. So I am actually going to be using 3 different colors of adhesive vinyl. I have a white, a brighter pink, and then I have more of a light pink, and I think they're going to look really cute. So I am a girl mama, so I'm making mine with a little bit more of a pink theme and tone, but you can use any color of vinyl that you would like to personalize this for yourself. So I'm going to share a couple of SVGs in Cricut Design Space that you can use to bring this look together, but I'm going to put it on this really nice framed chalkboard. This is just one of those little signs that the kids can hold up on their first day of school, and even though we are learning from home for at least the first semester, I'm still doing everything traditionally the same. You guys, I even scheduled a picture day for my kids because I'm just doing everything like they would have done in school. So one of the things that I love to do is I love to do a little first day of school picture, so we're going to be doing that with this little sign. Other materials, I have a little measuring tape because I'm going to measure just the chalkboard portion of this so I can size my design perfectly for this project. And then I have a weeding tool, a little pair of scissors, and then a scraper tool, and I also will grab some transfer tape. So I'll make sure to link all of the tools and materials I've linked or put in the description box below. That way you guys can check out everything and look closer at any of the materials if you need to see anything a little bit closer. Okay, so let's go ahead and measure. I have 10.5 inches roughly, and then I have 13.5 inches. So we're going to hop into Design Space and we are going to size the SVG, and I'm going to show you 2 different designs. That way if you're interested in doing something like this, you know you have options, and we'll get cutting and going.
Okay, so here we are in Cricut Design Space, and both of these are Design Space images. So I just found them by going over to the image button here, 4th down on the left, and they are very similar. They just have subtle differences. So I wanted to show you both of them in case you wanted to have options. So this one has a striped banner, whereas this has a polka dot banner. And then other than that, this has star accents up here and down here, and then this is replaced with hearts over here. So I liked this one better just because I think the polka dots are super cute and I love the little heart accents, so that's the one I'm going to go with. But I will go ahead and place the little codes on the screen for you right now so that you can quickly find these files if you want. They're called My First Day Of, but I'll give you the codes just in case you want a quicker way of finding them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and delete this one because I'm going to use this. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to come over to the shapes, grab a square, I'm going to unlock it, and I'm going to just recreate my chalkboard. So it had a width of 10.5 and a height of 13.5, and I'm just going to double check that I did measure that correctly. So then I am going to move backward. That way I can place this on the top. So let me just make this a little bit of a lighter gray. That way we can really see once we place that on there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just using that rectangle as a template for how big I want to make this SVG. And I think right about there looks pretty good. I could make it just a tad bigger. That looks really nice though. Okay, so I think if I wanted, I could even unlock it and make it so that it's stretched just a tad. I actually think I'm going to do that. That way it has even, so it looks like I have about a 1/2 inch barrier around the entire perimeter, and that looks pretty good to me. So I am going to say that is my final look. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to hide this little rectangle by going over here and just clicking hide. And I have this little alert just because my joy is selected, and it's just going to say that it's too big for the joy, but I'm actually going to be using my explore. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that. And then what I can do is I can simply say make it. Okay, so this little alert that pops up here is just saying that one of my images is a little large, so it's going to be calling for a longer mat, which is just fine because I do have that. So what I'm going to do now is just say okay, and it's going to divide it by color. So actually this is going to be cutting out of the white, but it's okay, I will know just to put my white vinyl in there. Then I'm going to have my darker pink, and then I'm going to have my lighter pink. So if you notice, there is going to be a bit of wasted vinyl in here, so I will tackle that once it cuts out, but I do think it might be easiest to do it this way just to get everything placed, but I'm going to save as much vinyl as I can. Another way, if you didn't want to have it cut like this, you could go back to your screen, and really it's cutting like that because that is how the file is placed and made up. But you could contour out. It would take a lot of work, but you could contour out and slice all of these apart to put them where you want them if you would like to do it differently. But I'm just going to allow this to do the cut just like this, and then I will just save vinyl in between just because I don't want to take all of that time to separate all those pieces. It's really going to be okay. Okay, so I just want to give you that option just in case you were not wanting to have it cut just that way. And this is our last mat, so we are all set to go. I'm going to go ahead and click continue, and then we are going to use our Explore Air 2, which I need to turn it on. Okay, now I can select my machine, and then what I'm going to do is start selecting my material. So all of my mats are going to be on vinyl. So I can just say browse all materials, I can scroll down to vinyl, and then I can say adhesive vinyl or premium vinyl. Let's see, okay, premium vinyl right here, and I will click done. Okay, so now we are all set to go. We're going to get everything cut out and placed on our chalkboard.
Okay, so here we go. I'm just going to let that roll down. Grab my scraper and just make sure it's all pressed down on the mat. And then we'll go ahead and open this and get it loaded. I think this is going to be so cute with all of the pink accents. It'll be really sweet. And I have to decide how I'm going to approach this. Now with my Explorer 2, I just keep my dial on custom. And the reason I personally do that is because I also craft with the Maker and the Joy, and all of the machine material selections are done in Design Space on the other two machines. So it's just easier for me. I'm already in that mindset of selecting all of my material on the Design Space portion. So I just keep this on custom and allow myself to do that. Okay, so this is done. Now I will say that this does take a few minutes to cut out, so make sure you grab a cup of coffee or have something to work on in the meantime because it does take a few minutes to get this design all done. So I'm just going to flip this over and place this. Okay, so I'm going to load my second mat, and I just wanted to share, if you have problems getting a roll of vinyl onto the mat, what I do is I roll it all the way up into the roll here, and then I just take with my fingers just a little bit of that vinyl, and then I take it from the top and kind of drag it down on the non-sticky part, and I drag it all the way down to the top line. Then I place it like this and roll it out. So that can kind of help you if you're kind of finding that is a stinker to get all placed on there because it's kind of hard when it's on that sticky mat. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut the last two layers and then we'll get to weeding and putting it on the little chalkboard. Okay, so everything has been cut out, and I actually weeded the white because Cricut's white is on a white backer, so you can't even really see it anyway. So I went ahead and did that, and then what I'm going to do with the remaining pieces is I have decided that my white is the only piece that's going to go down in its full size. The other ones I'm going to put down separately, and it's going to help me not only to save vinyl, I don't want to waste so much vinyl, but it's also just going to make it a little bit more manageable. So I am just going to go through on the other two sheets, and I am going to cut out my little elements, and then what I'll do is I will start weeding it, and then I'll show you kind of my thought process for putting this all together. Again, you can approach this any way you want. I always think that the best decision when it comes to crafting is what makes you feel the most confident, and I was thinking through how I'm personally going to do it, and this way just makes me feel like I can do it the best way that I can. So that doesn't mean you have to do it the same way, but this is how I'm going to do it. Okay, so I have all my little pieces and I'm getting ready to weed. So again, the only piece that I'm putting down in its entirety is this white, and it's hard to see, but I already weeded that. And then the other ones I wanted to cut out just so I didn't waste as much vinyl. But the reason I want to do that white in one piece is because when you're working on a huge project like this, it's kind of easier just to have one piece where you keep everything in the same position. That way it just turns out really, really good. So that is why I decided to do it that way. So these are the little polka dot borders, and this looks really flimsy as is, but once you get the transfer tape on it, it's gonna be much sturdier. So we have that, we have this pencil, and it's gonna look super cute. I love all these colors together too. They just look super nice, and They coordinate really well. But the possibilities are endless. Everyone could make this same sign with the same SVG and use different colors, and we could all get really different looks. So that's the fun of crafting. You can just personalize it to however you want it to look. Okay, so we have that piece, and then this is the little glue bottle, which is so cute. I feel like I've used this image. I wonder if they have this as a standalone image in Design Space as well. I feel like I've used this or something similar on a design before. It's super, super cute. Okay, just the little pieces out in here. I love weeding. It is my favorite part of crafting. I know that's a bold statement to say. Is it really possible to choose a favorite part of crafting? I'm not even sure if it is possible, but it's a step that I really enjoy. Okay, and then this step, all these little vinyl pieces, which are probably going to follow me around all day. Okay, this one, let's see, how does the scissors work? So let me know what you guys have been working on. I feel like this is an interesting time of the year, August, because it's not really a time when you do a ton of summer crafts, but it's not quite fall. So, I don't know. I'm actually starting to think about gift giving and what I'm going to do for the holidays. So I have a lot of ideas coming up for doing so, because I kind of feel like this is kind of the right time to get, can you believe it? It might be just the right time to start working on all that kind of stuff too. Okay, this, I think out of all of them, the scissors may be one of the most delicate pieces, so just take your time on that part. It's kind of hard also to determine which pieces are going to stay and which are going to go in that particular part of the file. How cute is this banner? It is so sweet, and I feel like the other one would be adorable as well. I think the other one was had more stripes in it. Another thing is I do have the design on Design Space on my computer right in front of me. That way when it's time to get everything on the board, everything is going to be able to be referenced on the main design for placement. Okay, and the last one is this little heart and pencil. Hearts. Okay, we are all set to go. Okay, so now I'm going to put a little rubbing alcohol on my sign so it's all prepped and ready, and we're going to grab some transfer tape and get everything organized on the chalkboard. Okay, so I'm going to take some rubbing alcohol, and with just a little cotton, I'm going to just clean this surface. I got this at, I actually ordered it from Joann's, and I've been searching for a chalkboard for quite a while now. I've been kind of picky about what I wanted, and this came up, and I just really like it, and I really liked how it turned out in person too. It just arrived really nicely, so there's a little bit of dirt and grime on there. Okay, also another thing I like about this is the chalkboard is held in with little prongs, so it's not a permanent chalkboard, it doesn't look like. So I do like that option because obviously this is a sign that you're going to use once a year. So if you wanted to, you know, put a picture in or do some other type of artwork, maybe for Christmas or fall, you could place something else in there and be able to use this nice frame for other parts of the year, because sometimes it's hard to invest in something like this and then have it only be used for a little bit of the time. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my scissors and trim this little piece down. Okay, so I'm just trimming that little piece right there. And then, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this here. And I know it's hard to see the words, but the words are on there. I am going to, first and foremost, I think I'm going to place this banner up here because it's going to help me. Let's see, this is going to go here. I'm just going to start placing kind of elements on here just to see where things are going to go. I think I'm going to do the banner first and then go down from there. It might just help me. Again, you can approach this any way you'd like, but for me, there are certain ways that just kind of help me make it a little bit more manageable. Okay, I think that's how I'm going to do it. So let me grab, I'm going to grab a little piece of transfer tape for this. I have a whole drawer of transfer tape, and that will be perfect. So I am going to trim this down. Okay, so I'm just going to lay my transfer tape over the design, just like that. Scrape it down, turn it, scrape it down, and then with everything, I think I had kind of a 1/2 inch border around everything. Okay, I'm going to, whoops, I'm doing that the wrong way. There we go. Apparently I have not enough coffee this morning. Okay. I'm going to go right about, bring this down just a little bit. I think I'm going to go right there. Okay, so the main reason why I wanted to, oh, hold on. I can't center things and talk at the same time. Okay, the main reason I wanted to start with that banner is because I know that I allocated a 1/2 inch border around everything. So it was going to just be easiest for me to get that top one done, because centering this big one, it would be hard against this top portion without anything to reference it. So let me pull this off. I'm going to scrape it down. There we go. Okay, and then I'm just going to grab a little corner and peel up that transfer tape. And then we can actually reuse this. Let's see, I don't know if I have anything else this small. Oh, that looks really, really cute. I love that. That looks really nice. Okay, so now I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do this big white one first, or second, I suppose. So let me do this next, and then you guys can see all the stuff that's on here. One thing I do not like, and this is really nitpicky, so just know that before I say it. One thing I don't like about the Cricut white vinyl is that it's on a white backing sheet, so it makes it not only really hard to do a tutorial with, which is really fine, but it makes it hard to weed sometimes because there's just no contrast. So it's kind of a stinker, but you guys will see it in just a second here. Now, I love this transfer tape. I'll link it below. I recently found it, and I am all about trying new transfer tapes. I think transfer tapes are one of the things that can make a project successful or stressful. So I found this. I love it. I love that it's clear. I'd recommend something more clear in this project. And I am going to, I'm kind of letting it bow down so that that middle part will go down first. There we go. And then, there we go. Just spreading it out with my fingers. Okay. Are you guys ready to see how cute this white part turned out? I am too, because I can barely see it in that white background. But it's worth it. The Oracle 651 vinyl and 631 vinyl is on the blue, which is super nice. I guess it makes it easy to weed. Okay, so I'm just pulling away my little carrier sheet here. Sometimes it's nice to keep a weeding tool handy, just to help nudge things along. Okay. So if you're watching this tutorial and it is not back to school time, if you're watching this as a replay later on, what you could do is, if you are watching this in the spring and you're getting ready for the last day of school, is you could edit out that letter or that word first, and you could say the last day of school, which would be really cute too. In fact, if you wanted to, you could make this a removable vinyl, and you could just switch this out. I think that would kind of be a lot of work to do that each and every spring and fall, but with the right dedication, you could. Okay, so I think we've got everything where it needs to go. I think one of the little C's kind of moved. There we go. Moved just a little bit. There we go. Okay, so let's turn this over and take a deep breath. This stresses me out a little. Okay. So once it goes down, it clings. So I'm just trying to be really careful of not letting it do so. Okay, so I'm going to lay that down just like that. I think we're okay. Okay, so I am going to, let me just do it with my fingers first. Just lay that down. Okay. And then I'll go back with my scraper and really reinforce that. Make sure that I don't get any bubbles under my letters. I'm just focusing on those areas where the letters are. This is so cute. Makes me excited. I love back to school time. I think I shared in another video, or maybe it's a video that's coming up, I'm not sure, that I love getting school supplies. It's my favorite. It's so fun. The school supply section is just makes me so happy. I love school supply section more than I love the Christmas section. It just, there's something about going back to school that's so heartwarming and so fun. So I'm just going to peel off this transfer tape. Look at that. Oh my gosh, that looks so polished. I always say that, oh goodness, this is my favorite craft I've done because everything turns out really fun, but this one might be one of my favorites. That is so cute. Oh, I love it. Okay, so I'm going to save this. I'm going to try my best. I'm going to grab the sheet that it was on. Was this the sheet? It might have been this one. Okay. I am going to grab the sheet it was on and place it back on there and save it so that I can reuse it throughout this craft and then for future crafts as well. And it's easier if you just put it back on the sheet. It's easier to cut and manage and all that stuff. Okay, so let me get a little organized here. I feel like I'm getting a little messy on my craft table. So let me get organized and we'll finish this up. Okay, so the next part I'm going to do is this little pencil. I think that'll be really cute. So I'm going to grab a little piece of transfer tape here. So I'm just going to cut a piece, again reusing this to keep this as an affordable little craft here. And this pencil is going to go right in the middle here. So cute. Okay. Peel that up and place that down. Okay, that looks really good. Scrape it down. So I just think that the white piece was really easy actually to put on all in one piece, but I think these other little elements, instead of putting them all down together, and then it wastes so much vinyl, you guys, but I think this is just so much more manageable. It might take a little bit more time because you're doing them individually, but you know, it saves vinyl, and I feel like it's making it seem more manageable to me. So this is the little heart that goes in here, and I'm just going to peel it like a sticker because it will be easy to do so, and place it right there. So sweet. Okay, let's do the little glue. Again, I am referencing the file on Cricut Design Space. That way I know what elements I still need to put on. And I'm just using this transfer tape and sticking it on my machine when I'm not using it. That way I can keep reusing it here. Okay. So I have my glue. So the glue is going to go right about here, but the next thing I'm going to do, I think I got a little ahead of myself with the glue. because the next thing that I want to do, actually there's a little border that really should go down before I do all of these elements. Okay, and now I'm being careful on this part, and I could even grab my little Cricut scraper. I'm going to do that. Okay, I grabbed something really small and skinny because I don't want to, you know, scrape up the vinyl that's already been laid down. So I'm just going to use something a little bit narrower. Okay, look how cute. I don't know why I'm so in love with the little glue bottle. That's so sweet. Okay, that still has some good stick to it, so I'll leave that there. Okay, this piece is the one I'm talking about. This needs to go down. Okay, that's going to be so cute. Okay, so let's do this nice big sheet. You can even trim it down just a little. Maybe trim it down at the bottom. Okay, so now I'm going to do my best to get this straight. Just like that. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to press here. Because I don't want to interfere with any of the other vinyl that's already laid down, and this really doesn't need any, you know, aggressive scraping or anything. If I want to do a tiny little bit, I can. There we go. Oh my gosh, it just looks cuter and cuter with every element we put on there. Okay, so let's do the scissors and, yeah, that's the way that goes. Okay, the scissors and the paintbrush. So we can use, can we reuse one of these? Maybe I'll put them down separately. So you know what I'll do is I'll layer it. That way I don't have to keep cutting down pieces of transfer tape. I can keep them as big as I can, on my full-size ones at least. I'll just kind of layer this as so. Okay, very cute. Okay, turning that over. There we go. And it goes, well, you really could do it any way you'd like. I guess it goes this way. I don't know. Do I like it the other way, though? No, we'll do it the way they say. Okay. I'll move that over just a little bit. Right there. Cute. Okay. And I'll just scrape that down. Okay. And peel. And peel. Okay, one more little piece and we are all done. So we have this little pencil, and this transfer tape piece was not quite big enough, but that is okay. If you have most of it covered with transfer tape, you are good to go. If it makes you uncomfortable to do so, then definitely just size it, but as long as most of it's on there, you should be just fine. We're all set. Peel it away, and we are all done. Oh my gosh, I love how this turned out. It looks so sweet. What do you guys think? I think it's going to be really cute, and I love all of the colors, and I think I did a good job of lining everything up. It looks pretty even to my eye, and I don't have any other pieces to put on here, so I'm in love with it. I think this is going to be really fun, and it's going to make going back to school the way it's going to look this year just even more fun, because we're just going to make it as fun as we can. My teacher is Mama. It's going to be Mama for just a little bit, but we're going to have a good time with it. And you know what? it's going to be a time that we'll remember for sure. So I hope you enjoyed this. Please give me a thumbs up. Let me know if you're going to recreate this. Even if you don't have a little one at home, maybe you know someone who is going to be learning from home. Maybe you know a mama that is going to be teaching her kids. This would be a wonderful thing to gift them. So, you know, you can still get creative and make this as a gift for somebody, because while school is going to look a little different this year, it would just really brighten someone's day just to know that you're thinking them too. So I hope you enjoyed this. Be sure you're subscribed. We have even more coming up, and I will see you all in the next video.